Hey guys, this is JoAnn Wray, and I am super excited about this upcoming episode of Human Connection. This one's a little different. We recently had the pleasure of having Bryan Adams in our office to record a sit down between he and I for the Integrity Inspire podcast, and I wanted to be able to share that here with you, our Human Connection audience. So in this, Bryan and I just simply chat about our beginning days of doing business together and the remarkable road that we've both been on and now being a part of Integrity. So I hope you enjoy.
Well, hello, everybody. Thanks so much for joining today's Inspire podcast. I'm so excited to be on the road today, and I'm here in beautiful Columbia, Missouri, with the president of Senior Marketing Specialists and one of my favorite people in the world, Miss JoAnn Wray. JoAnn, thanks for letting me swing by your office. We've been talking a lot about how can we all learn together.
Yep.
We've got all these pieces of the puzzle that we've put together, so many incredible partners. And one of the things we said is, how can we go out to some of our offices and say, share with us best practices? What can we all learn together? Because we are all in this together. And I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah.
There would be no integrity without you, Dan, and David McNerney.
There's some history
Bobby
there.
Richardson.
Yeah.
It's been Mary Sarah, the whole team. So it's exciting to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting us
Well,
be
thank
here.
you. Yeah, first of all, thank you for coming. I mean, this is a huge honor for us to have you and the caliber of folks that are here with us today, learning some of our best practices and meeting some of our folks when you got to address our group
So
that's
awesome.
here today. I mean, that's
You have
just
such a
been
young, dynamic,
that's been a
vibrant group. Oh,
highlight.
man.
Yeah, so I was telling a story earlier, but I also appreciate this too. When one of our folks won the Steve Young signed jersey, she was a huge Steve Young fan, first of all, so that was a huge treat and an honor for her. Her daughter, who works here also, is like 22 or 23, doesn't have any idea who Steve Young is, doesn't care. But Bryan Adams was in the office, so she got to meet Bryan Adams. So that
Oh
was
my
like her
gosh,
celebrity
get out of
signing
here.
moment.
Get
So
out
you're a
of here.
celebrity around
Yeah,
here.
right. Well, hey, listen, Steve's way more important. I was telling you, so we were recently on a trip and ran into, my kids are big Kansas City Chiefs fans,
Yeah.
and you just gave us Super Bowl hats, which my kids are going to lose their mind over that. And we ran into Travis Kelce
That's
in
incredible.
the hallway. So literally we're
Not
walking
here.
by. No, we were in
Just to let
Orlando,
everybody know.
and I run it. He literally just walks by, and I go, "Hey, Kelce, this kid's one of your biggest fans." And I was like, I don't even know what came upon me, because I'm usually not that kind of guy, but I was like, I got to do this.
Did he look like the kind of guy that would just like come up and start talking, or was
Dude,
he
he was
like,
the nicest
yeah,
guy in the
yeah,
world. He turned around, talked to my kids, and it was so cool. And so we get back up to the room, and my youngest Shiloh goes, "Man, I cannot believe I met a real life celebrity." And I said, "Well, you've met Steve Young before, and Steve." And he goes, "Yeah, but he's not a real celebrity." Travis
He's no
Kelce,
Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce.
He's no
Now,
Travis
if it would have
Kelce.
been Patrick Mahomes,
Oh, he'd have lost his
I don't know if
mind.
we could have ever
He'd have lost his
lost that. Have
mind.
you ever heard the Kansas City Raps song?
Uh,
The Kansas City
are you gonna
Chiefs
sing it?
rap song? No, I'm not
Oh,
gonna sing it, but there's one for both Super Bowls, and my kids are now like into this, like Kansas City
oh, they
rap.
know it.
So go to Alexa and say play Kansas City Chiefs rap song, and they're actually pretty good. It's actually really good.
Uh,
Well, hey, so one of the things we've been looking at is all the amazing things that every one of our businesses have done, and what you guys have at McNerney and Senior Marketing Specialists is truly remarkable. And you guys had one of the biggest AEPs ever.
we
Your
did.
annual enrollment period was off the charts. You've grown so much, and so one of the things, we had a group that said, let's go and talk to some of our offices, and then try to share that knowledge with some
Yep.
of our other offices about how do we help you grow as fast as your team does. Why do you think you and your team are so successful, and what sets you all apart from the rest of the industry?
Yeah, so I'll answer that in the same way that I told you when you first sat down, which is the only secret, and it's nothing you can take back to Dallas, is the people that put all the
Yeah.
systems and the
And you've got
processes
great
together
people.
here. We've got great people. That is by far my biggest accomplishment outside my own children is this family
Yeah.
here in building this, and the just the extraordinary passion and love that they have for this company. for what we're doing, for what integrity is now doing, to continue to be a part of something bigger and bigger than just ourselves. I think we get the right people in that have that same mindset. We love our agents, we love our customers,
Yeah.
and we're a systems and process kind of, junkies. We love building and making sure that our systems and our processes are in place for our agents and our staff, and it just makes everything more scalable. When you've got
Yeah.
one person that in their mind knows how to do something and has to go do it all, that you can't scale that.
Right.
So we're into standard operating procedures and all the different resource guides and everything that we have, and continue to build. I gave a presentation the other day that said, I hope you feel the pride of looking at our organizational chart now, because it goes like this.
Mm.
It doesn't go like this. And I think there's many organizations that still it
Yeah.
goes top up, bottom down. And the only way I can sit in that room and see my next step is if the person in front of me
Yeah.
goes somewhere
Yeah.
else, and they only have the one if the person in front
Right.
of them can go somewhere else. So we've tried to always build this way. We've tried to always build out. If you have a passion or a specialty that you're good at and want to have an impact on, let's go over here and build it.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of people on our team right now that are directors and leadership that it started off as a project.
Yeah.
Why don't you do this as a team
Yeah.
project, see if you can put some people together and see if you can get it done, and now it's a whole department. So
Which that's how you got started,
it absolutely
actually,
is.
right? I
Yeah. So
don't,
how about
are
this
you
brokerage
you're
thing?
surprised I remember that when you actually started
Yeah.
out the brokerage
Yeah.
side of with Dan McNerney
Yeah.
and David and Bobby, you kind of started out
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your background in doing that.
We don't want to go back all the way that far, but basically the way that our brokerage division, senior marketing specialist, got started is Dan McNerney and 5 or 6 others, many of them, I think all of them, Integrity
Yeah.
Partners now as well. So full circle as family members. We're asked to go to Schaumburg, Illinois, to Pioneer Life Insurance, which is
Right.
one of the first carriers in our world
Yeah.
in the senior space to have this thing called FMO. There'd really never been an FMO distribution channel with all the complexities that it has now. So we were one of 5 or 6 asked to go there. That was in 1994 and 1995.
Peter Nauert.
Peter Nauert,
Oh my
genius
gosh.
before his time. Can you imagine him today? What he would
So
think of all of
I'm
this?
not sure if it would listen, Peter was one of a kind.
Yeah, he had the
He, he was
technology
he was
brain.
he was a legend of really putting together distribution
Yeah,
before anybody else saw it.
absolutely.
Truly did.
Absolutely. And thank goodness he
Uh,
did, because that's where we got our start.
and so many people got their start
Yeah.
from doing that, which is incredible. You talk about this opportunity of kind of building this organizational structure that's kind of more horizontal than vertical. I
Mm,
love that. There's kind of two ways of kind of thinking about organizational structures in my mind. Is there's this kind of idea of the traditional ladder
yeah.
that you work your way up to the top of the ladder, and then there's this idea of a lattice,
Mm,
right? So if you envision a lattice work where you can maybe crawl over and then go up,
yeah.
right? And or move over in different areas. And I think that's really brilliant because it allows everybody to be able to flourish in so many ways.
Right. You're going to grow a lot faster, a lot
Right.
farther
You can
if you've
innovate
got a bigger
more.
reach. You can innovate more. That's one of the things, again, too, with a lot of the people that you've met from our organization. Just, I mean, intellect and from a
And
tech
passion.
and
And the
passion.
passion
That is
factor.
definitely, yeah. We definitely find the right person that kind of has that, where that crossroads is you're good at what you do, you have a passion about what you're doing, and you can make money at it.
Yeah.
That's something that intersection there is our industry. That's our
Yeah.
company. That's integrity
Yeah.
as well.
Totally.
And so we've put a
Totally agree.
lot of effort into that.
So you guys have been so successful, and there would be no integrity without the McNerney family, without you were in the room where it happened.
Yeah.
The early days
Yeah.
when we were creating this in '05, '06, and it's amazing kind of how far we've come. You've had so much success, and it's been, I mean, I feel like I've kind of grown up with you in so many ways. Um, and you've never lost that kind of childlike curiosity. And Patrick Bet David said this to me one day. He said, "You've got like this childlike
Yeah.
curiosity and this kind of demeanor that really is interesting to me. And I didn't know exactly is that good or
I think that's
bad.
a compliment.
It's a
Yeah.
definitely a
Yeah.
compliment for you because
Yeah.
look, you've got like this idea, just that passion is like, how
Yeah.
do we do these things better? What drives you today?
Oh, wow. Thank you for that. I think so I'll use Dan again in this scenario. Years ago when Dan McNerney was at the helm and a lot of his mentors had gone on. Shep had
Yeah,
just passed, Peter Narrett had passed, those the original founder of our company had just passed, all within a pretty much like
Larry
a two,
Barnes.
3, 4 year time span. And one of the things that I asked him at that time, which is, where do you continue to get your motivation? Where do you continue to get your drive? Because you're pouring that out to everybody else. Where do
Yeah,
you get it? And I've tried to walk in his footsteps as much as I can. But and in this example is definitely one, which is, he said, I've gotten everything I want to accomplish out of life. I've got the family, I've got the health, I've got the finance, I've got the legacy, if you will. Now the fun, now the joy is helping others get
yeah,
that. And so I've tried I'll never forget that day, that conversation. It was years ago. Is before I was ever in a place to be able to pour anything out to anybody else. So I've tried to live by that model
yeah,
as well. This is a fun business.
yeah.
It's a
It is.
fun company. It's a great, joy to be a part of Integrity and to have the camaraderie and the friendships and the competitiveness, the friendly competitiveness, to see each other, text chains, email change, calling each other. It's a fun business to be in when you're doing it with your friends and your partners,
Yeah,
and you keep bringing more new friends and more new partners. So we continue to grow that circle of friends and our family even bigger. But I think that's for me. It's just watching these kids literally, just like we were when we
yeah,
started. These kids are
yeah,
coming into the business straight out of college, not having any idea how to spell Medicare or what Medicare is going to mean to them someday as a company or as an industry, but they're loving what they do.
yeah,
They're getting excited. They have that passion. They're having fun, whether it's through the marketing campaigns or through building a system or a new process that we take, and now we take that all over the whole company. To have ownership of something and to give somebody ownership of something, to be able to build
yeah,
a piece of this that's kind of their own. That's again the integrity model, is we're all building something for each other, but also there's a piece of this that we're building for ourselves and our own family. And when you can do that simultaneously, that's a
yeah.
pretty good day's work.
It's amazing the opportunity we have, and I think that point and that kind of reminder that you have about like this opportunity for us to pour into other people.
Yeah.
It's one of those things I don't people ask me like, why are you keep working so hard? Why are you traveling so hard? I was leaving this morning. My youngest said, because we just got back
Oh.
from a trip, and he goes, "Who makes the schedule?" And I said, "Well, I do."
Oh.
He goes, "Then why are you leaving today?" And I was like,
Oh,
"Because
that's
I
hard.
get to,
That's
I
hard.
get this opportunity to
Yeah.
do this, but it's this real like there's an opportunity to be able to do the things we
Right.
do, and this is fun,
Yeah.
first of all. So selfishly, there's that, but there's this obligation
Yeah.
as well that I feel
Yeah.
that I don't want to let you down. I don't want to let other partners down. And I think we've got this obligation to the next
Yeah.
generation for us to really be able to pour into them, be able to support them more, be able to inspire them
Mhm.
to kind of this next wave of serving
Yeah.
our clientele and making sure that they have the best life, health, and
Yeah.
wealth coverage possible.
I agree. I feel that same sense of responsibility when I pull in the parking lot
Yeah,
and I see we've got two buildings here side by side, and you see all the cars. And as I pull in, some days that makes me the happiest. Some days it makes me,
yeah,
that's a lot of responsibility.
it is.
And then you start seeing car seats added in the backs of the cars, and that they're going home to new homes and mortgages.
Yeah,
And so to me, that's why I work so hard, is to make sure that the promises that I made to those people the day they started, that we can continue to build this thing out limitless,
yeah.
right? So that they can have everything they want.
And so when you joined Integrity, that was a big thing for you. I know whenever we all talked, you were like, "Hey, we've made some real commitments to everybody here."
Yeah.
So we've now been partners. We've been partners, frankly, for a long time.
Yep.
I mean, for it's like 18 years or almost 20
Surely
years.
not. Surely not. Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
gosh. It's been a while. It's
We're
been a
aging
minute.
ourselves.
But the other thing is like real partners at Integrity, almost 3 years now. I
Yeah.
think is
Yeah, in
coming
June.
up
June was our
coming up
announcement,
on.
June of 2020.
Geez, that is
Yeah.
First of all, can you believe? Think about what was happening in June of 2020.
Oh, well, even better than that. So March 15th was the day that we flew to Dallas
Oh my gosh,
to
that's
kind of
right.
do our
Way back.
handshake and letter of
Remember that?
intent. And that was when the world was just starting to get a
Remember?
little wonky. And we walked into your office and there's
That's when
hand sanitizer
that
everywhere.
was
And
when I was getting scared.
yeah, and you were like greeted us with an elbow
Yeah.
instead of a hug. And we're like, what is wrong with this dude? Why
And
is
I
he?
remember I was like, hey, this is
Yeah,
something
it's big.
serious.
And then
This is some
maybe 4 days later, we sent our entire
I know, remember
company
that?
home for 93 days.
I remember we had already got into the planning
Yeah,
process of that.
yeah,
And it was like, hey, this is something
yeah,
more. I think everybody's thought was kind of like a snow day. We're going to send people home for a
exactly.
few weeks,
Yep,
a few days, and then be back to normal.
yep,
And it was like, no,
yeah,
this is something
yeah,
bigger.
yeah.
And then I forgot that we met right at the beginning, the cusp
Oh,
of
it
that.
was, yeah. Oh,
And then we got our deal done in the
in
midst
the midst of it, which is
of
the
like the
craziest.
this was back when we were still washing, or well, no, we weren't even washing bags off. We were setting them outside in the garage,
For
remember?
24
For
hours
24
before you brought
hours
them
to
in.
let it go away. We were still wearing gloves to
Oh
go
God,
and get
yes.
stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we got this deal
We
done.
got it
I remember
done.
flying in to meet with your team.
Yeah.
We separated, everybody
Oh,
was
we had
socially
6 feet
spaced. It was
apart.
amazing. But we still did it.
We
And it
got it
was that
done.
commitment of we're going to do
Yeah,
this together. And it's amazing.
yeah.
So now looking back, um, what would, what are your thoughts about, this
Oh
partnership
gosh.
and what we're doing?
Yeah, we don't have long enough to go into everything, but I think the thing that I always think about is that day again, we stood in front, both of us did. We stood in front of a large group of people and made some promises, and we're both going to work really hard, and all of us, to make sure that we
Yeah,
continue to deliver on those. And we always thought we took really good care of our employees. We always thought we had a really great benefit package, and we had great fun, and we had all these things that created
yeah,
HR and culture. But since joining Integrity, that's all just kind of been,
yeah,
blown up like crazy. Benefits continue to get better and better. Our people are happier, they're safer. From an insurance standpoint to the 401k to literally everything in between. I just think it's been a beautiful thing to watch them go through. We have a Thursday staff meeting, and a lot of times they'll share like something about the benefits. Like, I just went to this chiropractor and want to let everybody know. And then they just like they
yeah,
eat that up and
yeah,
continue to share and share and share, using those benefits and making sure of why they're there, and to go from where we were to where we are now to continue to improve on those benefits. I mean, last year they were good.
yeah,
For it to come back in with the way that it did this year is just mind blowing. So we appreciate that on behalf of our entire team
yeah.
and all of Integrity. Thank you for leading that charge
Oh,
and making that happen,
you're
because
right.
that's a huge deal. We're the people and culture. That is two of the things that have always defined us, as well. So it's been a beautiful thing to see everybody's fear in coming on with Integrity at first is, oh my God, it's this big corporation now. We're going to have to be a part of, all the corporate stuff, and we're going to lose all of our things that we love about our little company here in Columbia, Missouri. And that just hasn't happened.
Yeah,
We get the beauty of being a part of something so much bigger than ourselves, but we get the good part.
yeah,
And we continue to kind of still, do our thing here, continue to build what we're building, continue to add to what we're doing with our people. So that's been a huge
that's
benefit,
awesome.
and it's an awesome thing to be able to say that when we stood
Yeah,
up there in June of 2020, that everything we promised them that day we've delivered on, and so much more,
yeah.
so much more.
The fun thing about walking around your office is how much game time swag is
Oh, you see
everywhere.
a lot of
It's
game tag.
amazing.
A lot of it's probably hidden from you,
The
so
game time swag
it's
is
everywhere.
it's crazy.
It's
Isn't it fun?
everywhere. Yeah,
I
it's a lot of
listen,
fun.
that's one of those things that people absolutely love.
Yeah.
In fact, Kendall was in our office the other day and said, now I just need to remind people that sometimes when we put things out, like it's not for everybody, or you can only take one because evidently, like there was days
Oh,
I was
under
traveling all
lock
the
and
time.
key many times around
Like I
here.
was
Yeah.
traveling a lot and I would
Yeah.
be like, we got what? Where can I get one of those?
Yeah.
They're like, I'm sorry, we don't have any more. I'm like, what in the world? So can somebody save me something? But it is so
Yeah.
fun that we're able to do all
Yeah.
of those different things and also be partners on
All
the
right.
employee ownership
Yep.
plan and just everything that we've been able to do together.
Yep.
I remember Dan and I talking about the ownership plan probably in 2009, 2010.
Probably,
And
yeah.
we started working with a lawyer together about with what could we do at
Right.
Integrity. And then we just never could pull it together because
Yeah.
it's so complicated. And that was something that I know whenever we joined forces, that was a big part of it
A
as
big
well.
deal.
And that's where I'm excited. Everybody's coming together. Everybody's being able to have this opportunity, but also this obligation
Yeah. Yeah.
to work together. Oh, we have all these pieces of the puzzle. I say this all the time that we're just getting started, and I truly believe it.
Yeah.
People make fun of me sometimes when I say this, but it's the truth. Like the opportunities we've been talking about in the conference room today with your team has been so inspiring, and I'm like, I just want to stay here and keep talking because
Stay.
there is so many
Yeah.
opportunities. Isn't it
Right.
incredible?
Right.
And now that we're kind of letting our guard down, where it's not like, we're it's not zero sum anymore. We can
Right.
then focus on, like you started out, is we have to focus on how do we make this best for our agents and ultimately best for their customers.
Right.
And if we can focus on that, there's no limit to what we can do. So I truly
Absolutely.
believe we're just getting started.
Absolutely. I
Well,
do as well.
thanks again for letting us come out
Yeah.
today. It is I'm going around the country looking,
How fun.
visiting. You should come with me.
Oh
You
my
would
God.
love
Well,
it.
I heard the plane was full, or else
It
I
is
would.
pretty full, but listen, it's all about how do we
Yeah.
learn from each other, accomplish more,
Yep.
and serve more people, and together I think we can accomplish more than we ever could on our own.
That's our love language. We
Well,
absolutely
the
love
love language. I love that love language because it is true. So, hey, everybody, thanks so much for joining today's Inspire. JoAnn, thanks so much for letting us
Yeah.
be here with
Thank
you.
you.
It's an honor to be your partner. It's a joy for me and my family to be partners with you
Oh,
and
thank you.
everybody here. And so we're super excited
Thank
and
you.
can't wait for everybody to continue to watch all the incredible things that are happening here as Senior Marketing Specialists. McNerney Management Group, SBS, everybody here is top notch, and I'm proud to be your partner.
Awesome. Thanks,
All right.
Bryan.
God bless you
Appreciate it.
guys. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day and great week.